Hello, and welcome to A VO's Journey. My name is Anthony Pica. This show, right here, this one, is all about helping the new and upcoming voiceover artists grow their business, sidestep all the crazy things that I seem to step on, and drink coffee. Welcome. It's Monday. It's rainy out. It's a dismal Monday, and it's the first day where we have, well, it's the second day, right, where we have our clocks changed, so lots of coffee needed, especially when, you wake up in the morning and it's still dark out, and you're used to it being light. That's crazy, and and when I was young, it's like a kid's dream, right? And my kids, it's their dream when it gets later dark, when it gets darker later, so I feel like they have to go to bed. Any Hoosers. That has nothing to do with our topic today, but I had to open with that because we need coffee. Welcome to the video today. We're going to be talking about 3 different ways to get voiceover work, and I'm excited to dive into this topic. We're going to talk about online casting platforms. We're going to talk about networking and referrals, and then we're going to talk about direct marketing, all right? And I'm going to go into each one of these, give you some tips on how to grow and expand your business using these 3 different methods. Real quick, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button and the notification bell so that you can get told when I publish a video. And also check out our link below to A VO's Journey Elite Academy. We'd love to have you. We're offering 50% off the first month. It is a great community. It's good to be a part of a community that is supportive and helpful, and also, that you can learn and grow. So if you're interested in joining us, check out that link below. We'd love to have you. All right, so let's dive into number 1, which is online casting platforms. I'm a big advocate for this, as you know, and basically online casting platforms, you take either your demos, your samples, your video demos, whatever you have, your profiles, and you put them on these online websites, these online casting platforms, which are websites. And basically those platforms market, right? They drive traffic to their website of people looking to purchase voiceovers. And when you're on that website, they drive traffic to it. Those people can possibly see you and your work and decide to hire you. Now, some of these websites, you can also audition for things. You can audition for things. You can put your work up and people come and hire you directly, right? So websites like Fiverr, like Upwork, like ACX, like Voices, like Bulldoggo, like Voquint, Voice Realm, Voice Jungle, so many different websites, Voice 123. There's so Academy Voices, which is our website, our online casting website from A VO's Journey Elite Academy. These platforms allow you to focus on your auditions, your portfolio, posting your work, and not on marketing. Okay, even though auditioning is marketing, but in this case, you've not had to go and get the clients that are looking. These websites have. So online casting platforms, excuse me, is a great place to start, all right, and to get work. The cons of using, that's the pros. The cons of using an online casting platform, I think just has to go with you're competing against a lot of people side by side. All right, meaning like, there's you and then there's the next person, the next person, the next person. So, I mean, the people who are going there's a lot of people to choose from, right? And right next to each other. So there's a lot of competition, and, that means you've got to be, you got to be better and get more of your stuff up there and be seen more. Okay, so those are some of the cons, and some of the other cons are sometimes they take a hefty part of that commission. But at the same time, especially after starting to run even just for a little bit Academy Voices, it's a lot of work. And I know we know this, but it's a lot of work to get clients. So, I understand why, they need to make a profit. They need to make money too. But that can be a con depending on how much money they're taking, typically 10 to 30%, all right, is some of the freelance websites. Some of the paid websites might be a little more, a little bit less, and some might be a little more like some intermediary websites where they handle not only getting the work, but they also get like they handle the engineering, they handle the quality, they deal directly with the clients so that you don't have to, you know what I mean? You might pay a little bit more for those, but then usually the cost is more in general, so you make more, right? So there are pros and there's cons to that, but that's online casting platforms. So that's one way that you can get voiceover work. All right, let's go on to number 2, networking and referrals. I can't tell you how important it is, right, to get networking and referrals. Case in point, with Academy Voices, our website, we just finished up a job with one of our members, just a voicemail job for a company that was they're just getting their Memorial Day stuff in order, I guess, and having a voicemail stuff for Memorial Day. Anyways, when I asked the client how they found us, the client actually came back and said, we were referred to you by someone else, right, who was working on their voicemail, and they had found you through another friend. I'm not kidding you. So this was like a referral, and a referral, all right? And, it's so important to network and get yourself out there and talk to professionals, all right, in order to get those referrals. A lot of time work comes from referrals. Now, I was just talking about a client, but let's dive into the other types of things, right? Like, for example, agents, producers, directors. These people, I mean, they have their hand in the cookie jar. Those are the people who are dealing directly with clients on a regular basis. And a lot of them have no lack of potential talent. So what I mean by that is that if you go to an agent, right, and you'd like them to represent you, and what do you bring to the table that the, couple hundred other voice talent has not brought to the table? And listen, talent and skill is vital to our success, right? But it's also important to be friendly, easy to work with, right? Easy to fast in communication, friendly, and building friendships and networking allows you to become more desirable, because none of us want to work with people who are grumpy and cranky and upset all the time, you know what I mean? Or seem to, I don't know, have anger issues, right? So it's important that through your networking, whether it's going to events, whether it's going to online webinars, whether it's going to, conferences, wherever, to network, meet people, give them your information, reach back out to them, communicate with them on a regular basis, be a part of what they're doing so that they get to know you, they get to trust you, they get to like you, and then they're going to want to work with you, right? So that's a great way to do it. And on the last part of that, referrals, is networking and getting in a community. Whether you join a VO's Journey Elite Academy or another community, communities of voice actors are wonderful because so much work comes from voice actors referring other voice actors. All right. Another case in point. Today in the Academy, I posted a job for a young teenage boy because I got a job where I was the narrator, and the client also needed a boy or a teenager, and it's just not my voice. So I went, and it's paid. So I was in the Academy, and I had a couple people who sent some auditions, and I gave that to the client, and we're going to see what the client says. But the point I'm trying to make to you is that's a referral, right? That I moved on because I wasn't going to do that because it's not my voice, but someone else could. So I refer that. So a lot of that work comes from referrals, and you can get a lot of work being a part of the community. All right. So whether, it's like I said, a VO's Journey Elite Academy, which is an incredible community, all right, or other communities, be a part of communities for referral purposes. Okay. All right. So that was number 2. So those are the pros. I think cons, I'm trying to do this pros cons things right. So I think cons of, networking referrals is that to me, it can take time. Patience is amazing to have, but it can be challenging sometimes, right? Because you can't rush relationships, right? You can't rush that networking process. It might take you, there's only there's multiple conferences a year, but you might be able to only go to one. You might be only to afford one webinar. You might be only able to be in one community, right? Like, I think the con in that is the time it takes, right? The time it takes can be challenging, and, but it's worth it. And I think that's clearly it's the pros, but that's kind of the con in my opinion. All right, let's move on to number 3, direct marketing. Direct marketing is where you, as a studio, okay, so anything that you build, like if you have your own space at home, you have built a studio, a small studio. Okay, especially if you produce your work, meaning like you edit it, you master it, and you send the files, and you go straight to the client. Okay, you are a studio. You just happen to be also the actor who's doing it. But you could hire, if you think about it, you could hire other people, other voice actors, and still run their stuff through your system, and you could send it to the client. You'd be a studio. Well, anyway, but from direct marketing, that's where we are going direct to the clients through our own actions, our efforts, in order to get business. Okay, we are bypassing the middle people, or the people who, like, we're bypassing directors and casting directors and online websites and agents and all these people who work very hard to help you get business and to help you grow your business, right? We bypass them and we go straight to the client. Okay. Now, sometimes you can direct to market to other studios, bigger studios who are doing work and casting directors and things like that. That's also part of it. But pure direct marketing beyond that is going straight to the client. But that's then assuming that a client is doing their own work. But more and more are these days. Anyways, let me keep moving forward about direct marketing. So let's talk about some things that you can do to direct market, right? So email marketing is probably the biggest thing that comes to mind, but it is one of the most challenging things these days, I think. The pro is email marketing. Everyone uses email, and everyone's familiar with email, and you will do the majority of your business through email, right? So that's the pros with email, and everyone's familiar with it. Everyone's got one. They're easy to find. The cons of email is that the open rates are very low. Right. Like it used to be really cool in the late 90s, right? Open rates were 80, 90%. Now they're like, 18 to 25% open rates, right? This, but email still is, we do the majority of all the work through email and communication. So email is a benefit, is a real benefit. Your website and directly marketing your website to people, that's a great way to market. Building your website, using SEO, driving traffic to your website so they, people come and they look at what you're doing and you're offering, and they want to work with you directly there. Social media. Okay. Social media is kind of like a mix between networking, referrals, and direct marketing. Right? Because we are taking actions directly on social media sometimes to build or this is how we should be doing it, or one method doing it is building relationships through direct actions that we're taking with certain people that we know could hire voice actors, right? In hopes that when they need a job, they recognize us, they remember us, and they come to hire us. Okay, but you can also send direct messages just like email through social media, which a lot of times works a lot better because people check their social. They're willing to look at a message in their social media more now because just where we are now. Now, 10, 15 years, 20 years down the road, that might change. But where we are now, people will look at their messages more on social media than they will, if they don't know you, as opposed to email. So that's another way to direct message or direct market. Phone calls. Calling people, cold calling people. That's a way of direct message. Sending postcards, sending email, sending letters, sending flyers. That's old school, right? Doing ads and stuff. This is kind of like direct marketing, right? And something that is another good way to build into your plan. But again, you are the pros of that, besides what I listed, is that going directly to the client, you and the client in the end will make more money and save money. The client will save money, you'll make more money. Okay. You will own that information from the client. They're your client now. They're nobody else's. Like, you have that information. You don't have to share them with anybody. The cons are, it's an extremely large amount of work and challenge, especially if you're not sure where to go, who to contact. It takes time, right? It's a lot of work to get into businesses and things like that. It's just a lot of work. So, that's downside. And also, you're not sure, like, if you're not, there's no one there vetting your work for you. Meaning, like, if you have an agent or you have a community like VO's Journey Lead Academy, or you have a casting director, or someone, right, or an intermediary, when you send in your work and they listen to it and they're like, hey, this sounds pretty good, or hey, just you could do XYZ, make it sound a little better. You don't have that. So everything you do is on your own, right? That doesn't, like, if you have a community, you can ask them, to help you. So that's something that you can add to it. But that can be a con, that you don't have anyone else helping you. Now, as you grow a business in a studio, you can hire people, but right now, for most of us, that's not in our realm of thinking. So those are kind of like the pros and cons of direct marketing. And listen, I hope these three things that I shared to you today. By the way, on a side note for direct marketing, I really do like all of these. I like direct marketing. I like networking. I love online casting platforms. Working through these three things, I think together is the best way, because I want to sum this up, is the best way to build your business is to work on all three of these, not just have one, right? But be a part of online casting platforms, have agents, and work with casting directors and producers. Do your own direct marketing, have your own clients, use it all for your marketing plan so that you can grow a vibrant and bustling business. Okay. Listen, you guys, thanks so much for watching. I know this has been a long video. I hope it's been super helpful. Save it, because I think this is really good information that you can go back and look at and be like, yeah, these are the things I need to be working on. Where can I go? I can go to like the VO's Journey Lead Academy. I can go to, maybe other places out there, like Gravy for the Brain, or the Global Voice Acting Academy. There's all kinds of different places that you can check out and see which one you like the most. But, would love to have you check us out at VO's Journey Lead Academy. But either way, whatever you do, take these three things and build that into your business. Okay? Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Hit that like and subscribe button again, and check out the link below for VO's Journey Lead Academy. Talk to you guys later. Goodbye.